Okay, y'all, we're going to chat today about what happens when you hit the content creation freeze, staring at the blank cursor on your screen or podcast or camera for YouTube, like whatever it is. When you go to create content and you're like, my brain just went blank. I have no words. Don't even know what my name is. And you're like, I don't know what to do. Because in reality, like in the dream world, we would have all of this planned out and batched out months ahead of time, right? But sometimes dream world and real world are not the samesies. So what do you do when you're like, I don't know what to do, Faith. I don't know what to write about. I'm going to give you some tips on how to overcome that content creation freeze so that you can create content that is effective, converts for your business, and that's also fun. Ready? Let's go. Hey there, fellow entrepreneur. Welcome to Simple SEO and Marketing. Do you want to grow your business with sustainable traffic sources? Have you heard about the power of search engine optimization and you want to take advantage of it to get more traffic, more eyeballs on your business? But when it comes down to it, does SEO feel complicated and hard to implement? Are you tired of wondering what in the heck to do with your website to get more traffic and more leads knocking on your door? What if I could tell you that there was a simple, proven system for using SEO, blogging, and copywriting to get leads from your website, and not just any leads, high converting leads. Hey, I'm Faith Hannon, wife, mama, copywriter, SEO strategist, and barrel racer. And for the last 8 years, I've been figuring out what works and what doesn't work in the world of online marketing to get organic traffic. And now I'm here to share all the things I'm learning in the trenches of SEO, copywriting, and content marketing. How does 300%, 500%, or even 12,000% more traffic in a year sound? What could your business do with that kind of traffic increase? How many more people could you help? So listen in and prepare to take notes. I'm about to drop simple, actionable SEO marketing and copywriting tips, all with a heavy dose of Jesus-loving encouragement. Let's get you more traffic and more leads so you can help more people with your God-given gifts. Okay, so just being real with you. I don't get to this place very often where I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. One, because I have a lot of words. Two, because I usually have things planned out, like a batch plan and then a batch create. But sometimes, y'all, that just doesn't happen. And so recently, I had time set aside in my workflow to record podcasts. And I was like, I don't want to do any of these things. None of these things sound fun. I don't want to do it, blah, 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 blah. And so I just sat here wasting time, coming up with ideas, wanting to bang my head against a wall. And I was like, Faith, you know better. Get your poop in a group and do what you know to do. And so I was like, yes, I can do this. So here are the ways to get unstuck in that content creation freeze. Like I said, ideally you would have things batched out, planned out, and done way ahead of time. And I also am a big fan of creating content in line with your cycle, women. But if you just can't do that, if you missed the ball, you had a crazy busy season, you had holidays or company or whatever, and you just did not get your content created ahead of time, and you're like, I have to create content right this very minute. Here's what you can do. Okay. Number one, if you can, go do something else. If you have half a day to create content and you're like, I just can't, then go for a run or go for a walk or do a workout or go do something completely not work related for a minute. Give your brain a break and a refresher. This does not mean you go scroll social media. This means you go do something that is good for your body and good for your brain at the same time, which is usually exercise or fresh air. Okay. You need to go do something else if you can. Now, if you are like me and you have very limited children are being taken care of by somebody else time, so that means they're not going to interrupt you. If you have very limited time like that, like me, then this isn't always an option, okay? And I get that. So if you can't do number one, we're going to move on to number two, okay? Ready? It is switch to handwriting. Get off of technology. Switch to analog mode. This is perhaps the best tip out there. I got it from James Clear, Steal Like an Artist, the book is called. I was going to say Think Like an Artist, but it's Steal Like an Artist. Not James Clear, Austin Kleon. Austin Kleon, Steal Like an Artist book. He talks about having a technology-free desk or a technology-free section of your office. And what that does is it allows when you are using your hands to create and not just your fingers to type, when you're using your hands to write, it activates a different part of your brain, different creative aspects of your brain. And what that does is it really, really frees you up. So when I am like staring at a blank cursor, I don't know what to talk about, I don't know what to write, I will bust out a notepad. Sometimes I'll write on the back of sheets of paper. Sometimes I'll write in my planner, like bless my team for screenshots of things. Like sometimes it's just, I'm writing in the margins, but I know that if I will put pen to paper, my brain will start to fire differently and better. So tip number 2, if you can't do number 1, you got to do number 2, switch to handwritten just to get the ideas going. Okay. Just to get it going. You don't have to stay in writing, but just to get the ideas going, write it down with your little fingers and a pen and a paper. Number 3, start with something fun. Now, there may be something that you're like, you legitimately have to talk about for your business, for your content creation strategy, but it doesn't necessarily feel super fun at that moment. Well, what does feel fun to talk about or to write about or to create a podcast around? Like, it needs to be in line with your overall content strategy, right? Like, I'm not going to go creating a podcast on home birth, right? No. But what sounds fun? Like, start with something that sounds fun. Maybe write a rough draft for a blog that sounds more fun or feels more fun to create, just to get the creative juices flowing. Because when you feel like a robot creating content, we can tell. And we've all been there. But the goal is to enjoy creating content. 1, because it's going to be more fun for you and you're not going to get burnt out as easy. But 2, your audience is going to connect with you more when your content comes from a place of joy instead of just, okay? And number 4, think about changing up your methods. Now, here's what I mean by that. Some people are naturally better at processing and bringing order to their thoughts when they write things down. Some people are better when they talk things out. Some people, like me, it just depends on the day what's easier for me. And so if I'm just plumb stuck, I can't write for nothing, whether it's, pen and paper or whatever, I'll just start to voice message, record voice memos. And sometimes if I can't talk for nothing, which is terrible English. I know, Mom, I know. If I cannot string words together in a coherent sentence to save my life, then I'll start writing. But sometimes it's just that change in methods of how you're creating something that helps flip the switch and helps make content creation easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So those are the 4 quick tips for you to get out of the content creation freeze, okay? Number 1, go do something else if you can. Something that's good for your brain and your body, not scrolling social media. Number 2, switch to analog. Start writing with your little hands and pen and a piece of paper, okay? Number 3, start with something fun. Create a piece of content that sounds fun. Maybe you love writing emails. Great, go write those emails instead of creating the podcast for 30 minutes, okay? But start with something fun. And number 4, change your methods. Just change your methods. Maybe you need to talk instead of write, or write instead of talk to create the content. But these 4 things will help you get over that content creation freeze and start creating content that connects with your people, converse with your audience, and feels fun to create. All right, y'all. We'll chat with you next week and talk to you then. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in today. Hopefully this episode gave you some really tangible tips for better SEO and marketing to get more leads and more sales from your website. If it did, can I ask you a quick favor? Would you please share this episode with a friend and then just take 10 seconds and go leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. That is the very best way to help more Jesus-loving entrepreneurs scale their businesses so that they can help more people with their gifts and make an even bigger impact for the kingdom of God. And guess what? We now have a Facebook community where we can learn, hang out, and laugh. Go join the Facebook group now. It's linked in the show notes. And all the other things, courses, coaching, and copywriting can be found at my website, faithhannon.com. Until next time, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.